What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Shut Up and Poetry. We are so excited about iWhips coming up that we're doing 2 episodes this week, and our second feature for the week is none other than Ed Mabrey. If you know anything about slam poetry, you've probably heard his name. He's been all over the country doing slam poetry. He teaches workshops. He's an incredible performer. He's been featured all over the place. And, you know, he might write a good poem or two. We'll let you decide. You decide if this is a good piece or not. No, it's going to be amazing. Check out Ed Mabrey.
Michael Sam was the first football athlete to declare he is gay prior to entering the NFL draft. Upon hearing the news, his father stated that he was so sickened he had to leave the Denny's where he was eating at the time. Dear sir, or dear Mike's dad, I would like to think the reason you felt sick to your stomach while at Denny's was that your stomach realized you were feeding at Denny's. Or maybe it was a sinking sensation that one of your sons, not the one who got shot, not the 2 currently in prison, not the one who ran away from home and never came back, or the daughter you didn't even talk about, but the sweet, quiet one who used to bite down on his smile till blood ran from his lips like laughter, would get up every day to run away from home but come back after the beatings, after he left his mother twice, back after your absence, carried more sorrow than he could lift. Maybe it was a sinking sensation that one of your sons had not only survived your storms, but thrived in them. You said you responded that way because you old school, like Bootsy Parliament Funkadelic old school, but I think you meant more like Jim Crow old school, or Alabama church bombing old school, or WAP old school, kike dyke fag old school, sissy cracker nigga old school. Like you had too many guns that day, not enough triggers old school. You said the news was hard to swallow, as if growing up with a father who shows his love with his fist slurs and vanishing acts is easy on the throat, easy like hiding in a closet until daddy calms down, like closet begins to feel like home, home begins to feel like foreign word on your tongue because you know you was cool with all the straight things about men's professional football. Men naked, showering together every day for years. In a sport that tells men to bend over on all fours, look another man in the eye, grunt and groan, wait for a ball to come between your legs, tackle the man in front of you, pile up on top of him till a man in a striped uniform comes out and blows a whistle or throws a handkerchief in the sky, slap each other on the ass and celebrate a job well done while doing perfect choreographed dance moves and wearing the tightest and brightest spandex and lycra because all this is so straight and normal in your eyes. But God forbid he look at another man's eyes and see something like friendship, attraction, or love or anything. You might have forgot to fill him up your way on the day out the door one day. No, let's teach our black men how to hit, main, tackle, and deconstruct, how to turn goalposts to points of no return and closets into 100 yards of green grass. So I guess that means no Bayard Rustin, no Alvin Ailey, no Garrett Thomas. Is that there aren't enough monsters in this world killing our black boys daily. You got to go Dracula and drain your own son's Declaration of Freedom without thinking about all the other Michael Sams that got acquitted that day. He came out, stood up and said, if he can do it, so can I. Would like to think if my own son came after me as being gay, y'all, I'd be a bigger man than you. But hope my daily affirmation of his beauty as a child would have prepared him to face the judgmental world, knowing that his father was the first man to love him openly for the world to see. So to say another man loves him would be no big deal. My only question is, does that person love and accept you for who you are? If the answer is yes, then who cares about the rest, man? It's not like we so-called straight people of the world have been doing such a bang-up job anyway, but don't worry. I'm sure your son forgives you. I mean, it seems he has enough room in his heart to love a man, so surely there must be room in there, even for a man like you.
So as a poet, I think you present a lot of work that you hope changes things, but oftentimes, you know, like it's a poem, it doesn't necessarily fix everything, but it does bring to light like a really important issue. And so I love this piece because it talks about the Michael Sam story, or at least a part of it that I think was kind of glossed over when it like hit the limelight, and that was like what it must have been like for his family and who Michael Sam's family was, and were they supportive or not, and obviously his dad was not, and he does it in a very like eloquent way, but it paints this picture that is kind of like almost maddening because you have this guy who's not even there, domestic violence, and yet he suddenly has an opinion about his son's sexuality and how it was so disgusting to him, and yet, you know, you have things like football, which has so many homosexual tendencies, like Ed points out so beautifully, that can you really be surprised? I'm sure there's like a much bigger level of homosexuality in NFL than in the light right now, and yet, you know, like the media needed a scapegoat, Michael Sam fit the bill, and now we have all this like press and attention on this issue. But it doesn't really talk about like the heart of the issue, which is like the home, like the place where you're supposed to feel the most support.
Absolutely.
And he didn't have that, and that's just like heartbreaking. This whole piece is just really heartbreaking.
It is. But I was really thankful that Ed wrote this piece, especially as an adult man, and I felt like that was important. And I'm like, I hope that Michael Sam has seen this video, or it would be great if he did, because I want him to know that not all adults and not all dads and parents are like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of youth who get disowned these days, they need that. They need that support because they're not getting it from their parents. So.
Yeah, and he talks about his dad being like old school, but chances are he's probably close to Ed Mabrey's age, and yet you have someone like Ed Mabrey who is such the polar opposite of what Michael Sam's father was probably like. So that you're so right. That is such an important thing to bring to light. Like that not everybody is like this. Not everybody that grew up during this time period is going to view it the same. And Michael Sam's our age. He was born in 1990. Like it's crazy that we're still like experiencing this kind of stuff and this kind of like discrimination and almost segregation. But it's still prevalent.
Still
so
real.
it's still so important to talk about these issues. So thank you so much to Ed Mabrey. Let us know what you thought about his piece in the description section below. He's going to iWhips. So if you want to see Ed Mabrey, all you have to do is go to DC the weekend of the 10th in October, and you can see him live along with many other amazing poets. We'll have more information about that in the description section below, but let us know what you thought. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week for some more awesome poetry and maybe this NSYNC t-shirt again.
Hopefully.
Am
I right?
NSYNC t-shirt again. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shut up. In poetry.